Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. This week on Thursday, we had more lies fed to us by an official with the United States government. This official was Jennifer Granholm. She's the United States Secretary of Energy, and she was sitting before the House Oversight Committee, and she was asked some questions about UFOs, and she told some lies. Now, she's probably not read in on this. I mean, a person in her position, she's appointed, and she probably knows nothing about it. She was basically, what she did was regurgitate lies that have been told by the Department of Defense. That's what she did. And anyway, it was actually Representative Tim Burchett who asked her some questions initially, and then later on, Representative Anna Paulina Luna asked some additional questions about UAP. Anyway, I'm going to play the segment where Burchett asks Granholm about UAP. Here we go.
Let me switch gears. What is the responsibility of the Federal Protective Services within the Nuclear Security Administration?
Are you talking about transporting fuels?
No, ma'am. I want you to speak. I was going to follow up with the numerous reports by the Federal Protective Services officers describing suspicious occurrences of UAPs over nuclear facilities.
Oh. Let me just say, the Defense Department has said there is no evidence of UFOs, et cetera, or aliens in the United States. However, at those sites, there may be drones that may be nefarious. And so we are definitely looking at that and making sure that our national security sites are protected. We have a whole program related to countering drones that may be coming from
Well, this isn't about drones, and this is prior to drones even. What protocols does the Department of Energy have for reporting and responding to any UAP sightings near nuclear infrastructure? And people joke about this, but I get a lot of questions about this concerning this and about this hearing today from my constituents, so I would appreciate you answering that if there are any protocols.
Well, certainly there are protocols whenever we see anything unusual around our nuclear sites or our national security sites writ large.
Okay, you heard that statement. She says this. She says the Defense Department has said there is no evidence of UFOs, etc., or aliens in the United States. That is patently false, blatantly false. It's a falsehood that has just been foisted again upon the American public. There's no question about it that is a lie. She's regurgitating it. Whether she knows anything about UFOs or not, I don't know if she knows the truth or not. She probably does, but who knows? I don't know that for a fact. But she just regurgitated a lie before the House Oversight Committee, and I know this for a fact. And we're going to get into that later. I will show you that that is a lie. That is a falsehood that has been presented in the halls of Congress during a committee meeting this past Thursday. That's what that was. That was a false statement that was made. That's not true. They do know about them. They do know that there are aliens here. There's no doubt about it, and I'm going to prove it as we go on with this. And then, of course, later on, Anna Paulina Luna, another representative, who's also been part of this UAP caucus, this bipartisan group that's fighting for UFO disclosure and transparency, along with Burchett. Burchett seems to be the leader of all of this. He is the leader of it. Well, here's what she had to say.
Secretary Granholm, earlier when Representative Burchett asked you about some UAP stuff, you said that the DOD essentially had denied any existence of that, and you referred to them as drones, correct?
It's my understanding that the Department of Defense has looked at this and issued a report about it.
I have a lot of questions, so just quick and concise if possible. There have been persistent claims and reports, including those from credible whistleblowers to this committee, suggesting that the U.S. government, potentially including the Department of Energy, has been involved in reverse engineering technologies recovered from UAP. For example, the Pentagon's proposed Kona Blue program aimed at reverse engineering such technologies, although it was ultimately not established. Can you clarify whether the Department of Energy has been involved in any such efforts, or, either historically or currently, to analyze reverse engineering materials related to UAPs?
I have no knowledge of that.
Okay, there are several reports indicated frequent drone incursions over DOE nuclear facilities, including an incident on April 1st, 2021 at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, also known as LLNL. Can you detail the DOE's current security measures to prevent unauthorized drone activities or UAPs, and what steps are being taken to enhance these measures of frequencies of incidences?
Yeah, we have a whole counter drone effort to make sure that all of our national security sites and our labs are protected from incursions from drones, I'll just say, that are not authorized. So there's a whole series of protocols, probably not ripe for discussion in this public setting.
Correct. So I reviewed some unclassified materials from around the 40s and 50s, and so they weren't just being reported as drones back then, and I encourage you to look over those materials because I think that you guys should be upgrading that program to cover down on UAPs. There have been documented sightings of metallic spheres over DOE facilities, if you want to call them drones in this instance, such as one report on April 30th, 2019 over LLNL. What investigations have been conducted in regards to these sightings, and what conclusions do you guys have about the nature and origins of these objects?
I'm happy to follow up with you on that.
Okay, we'll be submitting also too for public record some questions after this, if you could please answer those. Considering the DOE's involvement in nuclear and sensitive research facilities, how does the DOE coordinate with agencies like the Department of Defense and AARO to investigate UAP sightings?
We obviously are teamed with the Department of Defense because of our national security and nuclear mission.
Are you able to cite any specific investigations or shared data analysis efforts?
I don't have information on that.
Okay. As of right now, again, we'll be submitting some questions for you after this, but I hope that you guys can answer those in a timely fashion.
So there you go. And then Matt Laszlo, who runs the website Ask-A-Poll, he's been asking questions about UFOs a lot to people in Congress, wondering about what's going on. And he has some. He was interviewing Burchett after the meeting, and this is one of the comments that I'll leave a link for this too from the Ask-A-Poll website. And Burchett actually said that he set her up. He set Granholm up. He says, I set her up. I asked about UFO within the Department of Energy, and they said aliens don't exist or spaceships. And after that, boom, then everybody just lit her up. Representative Tim Burchett exclusively tells Ask-A-Poll because they have a procedure in place, and there were certain, and she said they've never had an incident of a nuclear facility, and there's literally documented incidents. I mean, that's weird. Yeah, let's just stop there for a second. Yeah, she was saying that there's no incidents of UFOs over nuclear facilities when we know that there are, and she's talking about drones back in the 40s and 50s, 60s. Come on, what are you talking about? That's an outright lie right there. And then later on, Burchett said that she was condescending. He says, I think she was condescending. She kind of smirked, and I didn't like that, Burchett said. I don't like that. People believe in UFOs, and over half the American population does. It's like 55 or 60% believe that we're not alone. Yeah, those 55 or 60% of people that believe that we're not alone, they're right, because we're not. We're not alone. There's no question about it. I think it's probably more than that at this point, but who knows? But the bottom line is this, is that, there's always this condescension going on here. Like when UFOs got brought up, there's this little smirk going on. UFOs and aliens, come now. You don't be silly. And that just drives me crazy when I see that. I'm so angry. When I see that kind of stuff, I get so angry. So yeah, there we go with that, and but again, we're getting these lies told to the American public is getting lies told to them by top officials. Okay, they're getting told lies about aliens and UFOs by the United States Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm, during a sit down before the House Oversight Committee on Thursday. Again, we're getting told lies when, as I've been pointing out over here for the past almost 2 months now, we have end-all absolute proof now that there's an extraterrestrial presence here. There's no question about it. There's absolute proof here. There's no doubt about it. And the person that has provided this proof, the person who has verified this proof, is a crime scene reconstruction expert, Scott Roeder, who is world-renowned. The guy is world-renowned. And he has shown us that there's no question about it that what those people saw in Las Vegas, the Kenmore family, last year in the late hours of April 30th and the early morning hours of May 1st, 2023, there were aliens. There was some kind of craft that came down in their yards, and aliens exited, at least two. Two tall ones, two big ones, 8 to 10 feet tall. We have the evidence. We have the video evidence that shows this for a fact. And so they're now still, even though that evidence is out there, whether, I don't know if they don't know about it or what's going on here yet. Maybe, I'm not even sure if people in Congress are aware that this evidence is out there floating around, that this is it. It's over. It's over, despite what anybody tells you. I've been trying to tell you this. There's even people in the UFO community, right? I'm going to give them a break for now, but at some point in the future, right, some of these people who have been talking out about it, the people who are condescending about it when they see this evidence, oh, that's such a leap. Oh, that's such a leap. It's such a leap. Well, I'll tell you what's a leap is that they even have do have brains in their heads. That's what's the leap. If they do have brains in their heads, that's what such a leap is, right? But the bottom line is we have the end all evidence. And we're going to go through that a little bit here, but I just want to point out, I guess people don't really understand the person who Scott Roeder is, this crime scene reconstruction expert. A lot of people in the UFO community only understand that he's been talking about UFOs, and that's all they really know about this guy. But just this past week, he was in St. Louis testifying in court on the behalf of a person who has been in jail for almost 35 years now, Christopher Dunn. He's 52 years old. He was accused of murder, and Scott Roeder's called in to testify on Dunn's behalf and there's among other lawyers are trying to get him out because they think he's innocent. There's no evidence that shows that this guy is guilty, and Roeder's there to testify on his behalf. Now, right now, the case is we're still at this moment in time. The judge has to make a decision on it, and it hasn't come out yet. But a lot of people suspect that this guy is going to get let go. He's going to be released from prison. That he's not guilty. There's no evidence to keep him there anymore, and he's been wrongly imprisoned for almost 35 years. And Scott Roeder was there in St. Louis this week testifying on this guy's behalf. I'm just going to play a little clip here from this. It was actually filmed. I'm going to play a little clip here, and you can see who Scott Roeder is, and see what kind of guy this is. This is the kind of guy who's telling us that there were aliens in the backyard, no doubt about it. Well, just check out this little segment from court this week in St. Louis.
Name a few of the law enforcement agencies you've worked with.
Sure. The Cleveland Police Department, the Chicago Police Department, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Orlando Police Department. I've worked with NYPD, Columbus, Cincinnati, so on and so forth, with quite a few.
Have you visited crime scenes?
Yes, I have.
Can you briefly explain what the difference between a hot crime scene and a cold crime scene is?
Sure. A cold crime scene, well, I'll go with the hot crime scene first. The hot crime scene is typically a scene where there's still live evidence in the scene that is being documented, recorded, and has not been secured and released. A cold crime scene would be any kind of a crime scene that has already been released from active investigation.
Have you been to hot crime scenes?
Yes, I have.
Have you been to cold crime scenes?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of crime scene the scene in this case would be categorized as?
This would definitely be a cold crime scene.
Do you have any degrees or certifications in your field?
Yes, I have several dozens. I think of last count was it might be 600 credited hours of training from accredited institutes like the Public Agency Training Council, the International Homicide Investigators Association, the American Crime Scene Reconstruction Association, and the University of New Haven School of Forensic Science in New Haven, Connecticut.
Do you have any education specifically in blood spatter or bloodstain patterns?
I do. I received blood spatter training from the Long Beach Police Department, and I've also received it from Dr. Tracy Corey through the Public Agency Training Council.
Are you on any committees or boards for any professional organizations?
Actually, yes. Just this year, I've been appointed to the Ethics Board for the Crime Scene Reconstruction Association of America.
What do you do as a member of the Ethics Board?
We review complaints against other members for violations of ethics and any kind of violation of our code of conduct.
Can you briefly tell the judge about any awards or accolades you have received in your field?
Sure. I think the one I'm most proud of is I received an award from the University of New Haven School of Forensic Science from Dr. Henry Lee for significant contributions to the field of forensic science for my work in as a forensic animation expert.
What is the rate that you charge for your reconstruction services?
For everything that we do, we charge $500 per hour and $600 per hour for deposition and testimony.
Have you ever been certified as an expert before?
Yes, several times.
In what topics have you been certified?
Crime scene reconstruction, shooting scene reconstruction, evidence collection, forensic photography, forensic animation, and video analysis.
Have you testified in a courtroom before?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
In front of a jury, I think 24, 25 times now, but you could tack on another 20 for motion limines and Daubert hearings and that kind of a thing.
Did you make a shooting scene reconstruction in this case?
I have, yeah, I did.
Were the methods that you used to make the reconstruction in this case the methods typically used by experts in your field?
Yes, they are.
Did you review documents in this case?
I did.
Did you rely on any documents in making your reconstruction?
Yeah, I rely on the totality of the documents that I review as we interpret the interrelationship of that evidence.
Were the documents that you relied on in this case the documents typically relied on by experts in your field?
Yes.
Motion to certify as an expert in crime scene reconstruction and shooting scene reconstruction, Your Honor.
Okay.
And now I want to play another little segment from a podcast that I ran on April 2nd when Scott Roeder was on my show as a guest, the episode called Vindication Day, when this evidence that shows that there were aliens in the backyard was initially presented. I want to play a little segment from there so you can see what he said about that.
To me, I applied the same principles that I would apply to any kind of a homicide investigation, right?
Yes.
And you have to look at the totality of the evidence. And you're going to have debunkers that'll be like, well, but the shadow, it could be this, that, or the other. No, it cannot. And I want to open this up. Everything that we've done, I'm opening it up for peer review. Okay. Anybody out there with a degree in photography, anybody out there who's a qualified expert witness in video analysis like I am, anybody out there with a master's degree or higher in education in video analysis, video editing, photography, film development, computer animation, and so on and so forth, bring it on. Look at what I've put on my YouTube channel. Look at what Jim and I are going to talk about today. And I'm willing to hear what professionals in my field have to say about this and open it up. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But I think that the evidence at this particular time with what we've seen here is proof, couple things, that these entities, both in the background and in the foreground behind the fence, are real. They're there. This is not fake. This is not a fraud. I guarantee it. 100%. These two items, these two beings are in the real world environment with the Kenmore family. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact. That is there, and the one in the background is there. 100%. Beyond any reasonable doubt, these beings are there. Now, the question is, who are they? Where are they from? And what do they want? That's where the conversation goes after this presentation, Jim. The reality is confirmed. They're there. These people have experienced an extraterrestrial reality, interdimensional, whatever term you want to put on it. But these are non-human intelligent beings that are there in the real world. It's there. This is proof.
So there you have it. This is who we have on the side of this. This is who we have an expert, right? We have a crime scene reconstruction expert who's been doing this a long time, knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about. He's a video analysis expert. He's telling you that there were alien beings in that backyard. This guy's an expert. No, there's no other experts from the debunker side or even from the UFO community side that doesn't want to accept this evidence yet, right? This is an expert telling you that there's alien beings here, that there were alien beings in that yard in that night. So we come back to this Jennifer Granholm making this statement. The Defense Department has said there is no evidence of UFOs, etc., or aliens in the United States. Well, guess what? I beg to differ. There is evidence. This man here, Scott Roeder, he's an expert, a video analysis expert, along with his people on his team, right, had looked at this and they made the determination that there's no question about it, no doubt about it. The witnesses to this event, like people like Angel Kenmore, he said that these beings, the craft and the beings, looked like they were blurry. Apparently, and we've heard reports before that they use some sort of a cloaking technology. That face that appears above the fence, right? There was some kind of cloaking technology in use there. Scott Roeder has shown this. He has shown that there was somehow without any sort of explanation. There's no explanation for it, but 66% of the pixels were deleted in that little area where that head appears above the fence somehow. That's why it's hard to see, but for those few seconds, for a few frames, you could see the face, and that face is exactly the same kind of description as provided by members of that Kenmore family, the father, Bobby, and the two sons, Joshua and Angel. They said that they provided the same description. That's what you're seeing above the fence. Now you have debunkers and some people in the UFO community, including Ben Hansen who does a show with Discovery Plus and who's on News Nation a lot talking about UFOs, making a statement saying, "Oh, it's such a leap," and all this kind of stuff. It's not such a leap. No, it's not. That's what it is. You're going to tell me that, oh, it's a shadow. How could it possibly be a shadow? A shadow cannot go onto, a shadow needs a surface, right, to work, or you're not going to have it. That's in air. That's not going to happen, right? And then the other argument is that, oh, it's a compression artifact. What are the chances a compression artifact? What are the chances a compression artifact is going to take the exact form of an alien head like that, like you see that appears above the fence, and it happens to be the same, fits the same description as provided by the family? What are the chances of that? 1 in a Googleplex or better? Believe there is no chance. That's what it is. And then once you're done twisting yourself into pretzels about that one, right, trying to explain that one away, then how are you going to explain the being in the background? You can actually physically see something moving toward the family, something upright and moving toward the family. It's over. It's over. The evidence is there. It's a done deal. And that's not even, we're not even get into the meteor stuff yet either. The sound that the meteor makes when it comes down from the sky. That's unnatural. Although I have heard from a meteor expert from the University of Alberta recently, Christopher Hurt. He gave the opinion that he thinks it was just some vibration caused by the vibration of the thing coming down, and you just heard something vibrating locally. It wasn't the object itself. You know what? I respect his opinion, but what's he going to say? What's he going to say? What if he says something else? Anybody in the because of the stigma, what else could the guy say? What could any expert say? I don't believe that. That's not what this was. And then when you put everything into totality, take the totality of the evidence into consideration, right? That's impossible because there were aliens in the backyard. We know that. So how could that be a meteor? It cannot be. And then there was the dash cam footage where under infrared, under long wave infrared, where there's no heat signal. Now I had talked to some other expert in meteors and says, well, heat signature is not going to show up if it's 25 miles or better up in the sky. I don't know how far that meteor is up in the sky, and I don't know. No one's ever going to be able to get a measuring tape now and try to do a measurement because it's too late. We're not going to know. Now, I'm sure there'll be some debunker out there saying, it must be 26 miles in the sky. That's why there's no heat signal, right? Even if there is a heat signal, though, forget about it, because we still have the evidence of the aliens in the yard. And there's also, that thing came down. It looks like, based on all of the evidence, all the footage of that meteor, it was going down into the Kenmore's yard. That's where it went. If you do the triangulation, that's where that object was going down. This is over. The argument is over, right? It's all over. So when someone like Jennifer Granholm tells the House Oversight Committee that the Defense Department has said there is no evidence of UFOs, etc., or aliens in the United States. Well, guess what? They're lying to you then, Jennifer. They're lying to you because there is evidence. It's been out. At least there's this. I mean, I think they're lying about, of course, they're lying about this for decades, right? But we have evidence now that shows, no doubt about it. We have a crime scene reconstruction experts who's saying that this is real. There were real aliens in that yard, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It's real. They're really here. It's time for people to start accepting this reality. It's over. The evidence is there. No one's going to disprove it. If anybody tells you, like I said this before, anybody out there tries to tell you that it's something else, they're lying. Either they're lying or they're in some sort of ontological shock or they have an agenda or something like that. You can't believe them. They're gaslighting you. We have the evidence now, and it's a done deal. So that's where I'm at with this, folks. And we've just been lied to again. And I'm not happy about it because we have the evidence. And I'll tell you what, actually right now, over this weekend, it looks like Fox News started releasing Fox News on their digital, on their website version. We recently, Scott Roeder and I, we were interviewed for Fox News, and they're putting it online right now. There was a couple of the videos up there as before I started filming here today, and So more, like I told you before, more and more media outlets are going to start figuring this out and latching onto this and understanding that this is real. We have the evidence now. It's a done deal. There's no doubt about it. There's an alien presence here. So when the government, if they're going to try to tell you that they don't know about it, then we're in real trouble. If they don't know about these alien beings, then we're in real trouble. But don't worry, rest easy. They're just lying about it, folks. They're lying about it. They're not telling you about it. They're not telling the truth. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to get the truth out to you because they're afraid. They're afraid of the ramifications. They're afraid of what people are going to think after they find out that they've been getting lied to for decades and decade upon decade upon decade. That's what's going on here. But we have the evidence. It's a done deal. It's over. Forget about it. And it's time. I'll tell you what. Where's Congress at? Hopefully people in Congress start seeing this and bringing it in. Bring that stuff into the House Oversight Committee and then bring Jennifer back again and ask her the same questions. Well, what about this? We have a crime scene reconstruction expert here telling us that there's something in the backyard. Aliens, they're not human. Look at this. Look at this right now. Listen to the descriptions from the people. Listen to the 911 call. Listen to all of it. Take it all in. Drink it all in. Think about it. It's real. There's no doubt about it. It's over. There's no more. There should be, in everyone's mind, there should be no more cover-up because it's over. It's done. We have the evidence now. 100% guaranteed, just like Roeder said. It's done. Anyway, I just want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.